We love to beat up on one person or another person. And a lot of times we don't really like to see things from somebody's point of view. And all of you that's been hanging out with me for a while, you already know I'm not a fan of the 1, 2, 3 minute video, because I don't think you can ever really get truly what a person is saying from that. And I think a lot of people are out here trying to be positive. I think a lot of people out here want to do the best. And I think a lot of people are out here trying to educate. But then we also have to think about, okay, when we're trying to do that, what is our main purpose in all of it? Okay. And how are we using this information, in order to help each other? Right. So I do think we got 2 or 3 really great people today that we can learn from. So let's get to it.
This is my daily affirmation for Black men. So if that's not you, you can keep scrolling. All right, babe. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve a partnership with an equally yoked partner that makes you feel loved unconditionally. You deserve to share your emotions with someone and not feel judged. You deserved a soft love, an unconditional love, a happy love. You deserve to not have to live through those trauma cycles anymore. You deserve to not have anxiety. You deserve to be able to walk out that door and not be afraid for your life. I love you. You deserve the best of everything. You're an absolute king.
I'm closing my eyes. I hear this nice voice saying these great words. Her words are amazing. Her words are amazing. And as I got my eyes closed, I think this is a mother talking to her son. But then when I open my eyes, my good eye, this is not a mother talking to her son. This is, I guess, a Black woman, how she would talk to her man. This is very problematic because oftentimes Black women have a way of talking to Black men like this. And this is what creates a mother-son dynamic in Black relationships. Black men are not babies. You can't baby Black men. They either gonna sink or swim. You gotta push them out the nest. Frederick Douglass didn't need to be talked to like this. Marcus Garvey didn't need to be talked to like this. Paul Robeson didn't need to be talked to like this. The greatest Black men that ever lived, that produced at a high level, that persevered through major adversity, they didn't need to be talked to like this. They seen what was up against them and they attacked it head on. Was every day perfect? No. Did they bleed? Yes. Did many of them suffer? Yes. But that's just part of the hero's journey. This is very, very, very problematic because what this shows is that a large portion of Black men are in arrested development, meaning that we're 6'4", we're 6'5". We got these beards and these deep voices. We're a physical presence, but on the inside, we're a child. We have the appearance of being physically dominant, but when it comes to emotionally and mentally, we need to be held like little babies. This kind of language is for the babies, because if you talk to the men like this, then what do you have for the babies, for their well-being and their nurturing, okay? There's other ways that you can nurture a man, but this ain't it.
Welcome back to the channel. And you see the information on the screen, so you already know what I'm about. So let's get into it. And I'm just going to say straight up, the gentleman, because this is from Tonya TKO clips. I don't know if it's TKO or if it's just TKO, but that is where I found this particular video. I just did another video on her. So I thought, I would look through and see if I saw another one that was interesting, and boom, shakalaka, I did. So this is that one. And what's interesting is that, kind of even what her title of this is, finally successful Black men put a pick-me in her place, said what needed to be said at, Tonya TKO clips. And again, I think we have to think about what people are trying to say. So very first, before I get into anything, the original woman, I don't really think she meant any harm. And I think that that's always one of the problems when people take somebody's clip, because they're trying to take, like I say, this 1 minute clip that somebody is saying, and they really mean it for encouragement, but then somebody takes it and throws it way into left field. Like this lady's calling this girl a pick-me. All this other kind of stuff, just because the woman is trying to say something nice. That does not necessarily mean how this woman is living her life. It doesn't mean necessarily how she is trying to rock and roll with men. It just means that she is seeing so many people trying to come down on black men that she wants to say, hey, there are soft places out here and there are women that respect you. That being said, I do agree with the guy. I'm not even going to lie about it. One of the things that I've always even talked about, I even did a video about 6 months ago that had a little bit of love and had a little bit of hate, where I was calling men out and basically saying that a lot of men are walking around, almost in childlike energy, saying that they're not doing what they need to be doing. And it was really interesting when I made that particular video, and then I made like 2 or 3 other ones, because I noticed that men were not watching those videos. They just refused to watch them. If I put up a video that talked about a woman, boom, they were just on it like anything, even though I generally keep most of my videos balanced. All right. But it was interesting how that went down, where, a lot of people are seeking forth anger. They're seeking anger. They're seeking something out there that will satisfy the fury within them. And I've talked about it over and over again, the proverb that basically says, do not seek out evil people, or you will basically ensnare your soul. But it's so interesting that that's still what most people do. Most people are still out here looking for someone to validate their pain within them, instead of trying to find people that will uplift them and take them to the next level so that they can actually not only get away from the pain forever, but also be in a situation where they can actually be happy. See, a lot of people talk about, like, say, the stuff on the screen that you see. And it's always interesting because every once in a while I have someone come in and they want to, talk bad about, God, I guess, or whatever it is, because they see the cross on the screen. But it's really interesting because really when we study people that truly follow God in a balanced way, where the church that they go to is balanced, where you're dealing with a situation where people are trying to learn and grow, again, in a balanced way, we see people that not only have really great lives, but they thrive. And they thrive 10 times better than most of the other people. Because, see, what happens many times is we can get so caught up, in our pain and in our depression and in our anger that we sit down and we will waste 2, 3, 4, 7, 10 years of our lives. And then we don't understand that we accept things when we're in that pain that we would not accept, if we were mentally, spiritually, and emotionally healthy. And a lot of times the reason why, even people pick bad partners is because what they're really trying to do is to relive the pain that they had as a child. So what happens is a woman is basically growing up. Her dad is bad or he's non-existent. So then she goes and she finds a man who is going to be bad and or non-existent like her father. And when a man comes in that's a good man, she shuns him. It's the same thing. A lot of boys, they go out and they find a toxic mother, a mother that's very controlling, a mother that is, dealing with them in all these different types of ways and always calls him everything but a child of God. And then what do? They find that again. And a lot of people, that study the mind have talked about this phenomenon over and over and over again. Because when we are in a toxic energy, we seek out toxic energy. But when we become free, we no longer seek out toxic energy. And that's one of the things that Jesus was saying when he was basically saying, hey, I have come that you might have life abundantly. But see, a lot of pastors are not teaching a lot of this stuff properly. And so what's happening is they're all hooping and hollering and Jesus and all this other kind of stuff, talking about he's going to give you all this money and these riches. But people don't understand that every single thing starts with your mental and emotional well-being. God is not going to give millions of dollars to someone who is not mentally stable. God is not going to give millions of dollars to someone who is emotionally unstable. The person that does that is the other guy. And the other guy wants to take out as many people as he possibly can. So he's going to look and see, what do you have? Who can you affect? And yes, he is going to push money into places where more and more people will be hurt. Why do you think music is the way that it is? Why do you think television is the way that it is? Why do you think books are the way that it is? The number one children's book of all time is what? Harry Potter. It's about witches. And now we have little kids growing up saying that they want to be witches. Do you think, okay, that wasn't a part of the deal? And even though J.K. Rowling might say, well, I'm a Christian, it really doesn't matter. The devil used you, boo. Okay, he used you because you weren't talking about a little angel school or anything like that. He got in your head, okay, and he really pushed that blessing through. And we have to be open and honest about how we deal with these things. But again, to get back to this gentleman, do I agree with him? Yes, if you're dealing with a relationship, I 100% agree. Men that are walking in their purpose, they do not need a woman to baby them. They don't. They don't need a mother. And that's the whole point, is that somebody somewhere did the work when that little boy was growing up to turn him into a man. And because they did that work, everything works out. Now, the lady that's over this, she's, screaming and hollering and stuff like that. And I know she's, like I say, she's, pushing to her audience, which is primarily female. And honestly, I don't really mind it because I understand that that's how this game goes. But by watching her other video, which I just did, I have to really kind of say, okay, what again is the main purpose of this? Because men like this exist. Okay, they exist everywhere. And so again, my argument is still why, the anger that you feel that has created this channel in the way that it's created, why didn't you pick men like he is explaining in the beginning? Because see, when you pick men like them in the beginning, more than likely, she would have never had this channel because at that point, she would have had no pain. So while I agree with her and what she's trying to do for her channel, I want to make sure that, I kind of point that out. But again, I have nothing against her. I have nothing against people's channels. They do what they have to do. Okay. But it's like I said, I really can't disagree. And if she wanted to take this clip and make a whole video of it, she could do it. Because most reasonable men would agree with him. Most reasonable men are out here. But see, the argument for reasonable men is why don't we get picked more often? Why are women picking the wrong man first? And then they pick us second. Okay, if they even pick us at all. Now, I'll admit, I don't believe that women should just pick any old dude. And a dude that is not walking in his masculinity. Okay, and now 100%. So I'm not just saying pick a man because he's nice or pick a man because he has a good job. No, he still needs to be a man. But the point that I'm always saying is you'll have situations where you'll have a man walking in his full masculinity, okay, and he might be 5'10". And then you'll have another guy who's walking in his femininity, but he's 6'4". And the women will lean more towards the 6'4" guy just off of what they see. Okay, and then maybe he might have dropped a few smooth words, which, people talk about in Proverbs 5, 6, and 7. Where here's the guy 5'10", he's, maybe he's a doctor, maybe he's a lawyer, maybe he's just doing his own business. He's making, $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year, but he just doesn't get as much attention. Eventually, he'll find his woman. I have no doubt if he's walking in his masculinity, but it takes him twice as hard and it's more work for him to do. Where this guy over here, he just walks into a room, women flock to him, and then they get mad when this guy doesn't have the masculinity of this guy. And that's why I'm always telling women, always talk to a man first. And I say talk, do not allow him to flirt with you. Flirting is garbage. It's not going to help you. Yes, it makes you feel good. And remember, guys that are watching, it's very important that you impress, put some kind of emotional impression on a woman. Okay, that's another reason why these tall guys and these other men who have smooth words, it works for them, right? Because you got to build up some kind of emotion within the woman. But at the same time, a woman, from a woman's perspective, she needs to vet the guy with real conversation for 15 to 20 minutes. If she doesn't do that, that's a recipe for failure. All right? And a woman should give pretty much every man that is decently attractive a chance. Okay, that's decently attractive. Like I said, I'm not looking for you guys to just pick any old man. Okay, because I want you guys to have, babies and grandbabies for God, right? So that's really important. But we need to make sure that we're very clear on picking good people, because that is one of the main tenets that I see over and over and over again. And you got over 50% of these people out here, basically on both sides, men and women, that pick poorly and then get mad at the world. You cannot get mad at anybody for picking poorly when you had the opportunity right in front of you. And if you don't have the opportunity in your state, in your city, in whatever, move. Stop staying in one place. Okay, I say this all the time. If people don't like black people and you living up in Canada, okay, then leave. If people don't like, black people and you're living in the Midwest, leave. Why are you staying there? Okay, I left my city. Okay, I live now in Atlanta, and I'll be honest, I've been thinking about leaving Atlanta. And it's not necessarily because there's no women here. It's just because the traffic is too dang bad. And I'm tired of it. And I do not see the government really doing much to fix it. So if I'm in an environment where I'm uncomfortable, okay, I'm going to be very open to leave. I can make friends anywhere. Okay, so we have to kind of get out of this mindset that I have to stay. Oh, my family lives here. Oh, this is here. Oh, that's here. Okay, you're killing yourself for people that you probably see, 15 days out of the year? 30 days out of the year? I know people who have moved here to this country from other countries, and they only see their family like maybe for 7 days out of the year. They fly back to their country. They spend that time, maybe at Christmas or something like that, and then they fly back. That's extremely common because those people are looking for better opportunities. And we as black people, generational black people, have to get into our heads that we do not have to stay put. And like I said, I do not encourage you to come to Atlanta. Atlanta has a whole lot of people and a whole lot of problems and really bad infrastructure. So anyway, remember, right now I am doing membership. If you want to go deeper, you want to be able to talk to me directly, then I would definitely encourage you to look at membership, right? And if you want to go out on IG and talk to me, at least right now, asking me different questions about membership, and or if you just, have some suggestions for me, because every once in a while somebody will send me a suggestion and I always thank them for that. But, if you want to do that right now, that's very much open because I am trying to learn, how I can serve all of you better. But for right now, like I said, that membership join button is right there. So take a look at it. If it works for you, then I would love to have you. All right. But until then, please subscribe, and I'm going to see you all in the very next video.